Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's William Pittendrig, and if you haven't already, please make sure you like and subscribe to see future videos. In my previous video you found out all about me, so today we're going to find out all about my horses. At the moment we're currently on lockdown due to COVID-19. Lots of people are doing different things with their horses. I've chosen to let mine have a holiday purely because I had lots of jobs to do that needed doing. They've also never really had a long holiday because I always keep them in work in the winter, so it's quite nice for them to have a little break. So we'll head off to the field and have a look and see all about them. So, first up, this is Silver Lock. He is an 8-year-old pure Irish draft gelding, and he is by Clue Bay Bouncer out of Innisfree Lecaro Ruby. And if you haven't guessed it already, he absolutely loves treats. So I've owned Scully now since he was 4, so coming up to 4 years in September. I started him off from novices and built him up to opens. He's probably my best horse at the moment. As a 6-year-old he qualified for the Royal International in Boys. He was 5th at Boys in the Horse Workers as a 6-year-old. He was also selected to represent England on the inter-country teams. And last year, as a 7-year-old, he won the Royal International. He won Royal Windsor for the 2nd year in a row in the intermediate working hunters, and he also won the Horse Workers as well at Windsor. So he is pretty special. Next up we've got Kildalton Heiress, aka Diana. I've owned her now just for over a year. She's an 8-year-old pure Irish draft again. She's by Gortbury Hero. She's 15.2 and she's currently my novice intermediate. I was hoping to do opens on her this year and aim her for Boys and the Royal International, but with everything that's going on, that's not happening, so she's just having a nice break. I bought her off Jack Thomas Watson, and what was funny is it was a freak encounter really. I was just going to his to ride a horse to possibly take hunting, but that horse actually had very bad teeth and so it needed resting. So he said, why don't I ride Diana? So I rode Diana and took her hunting, and the jump was just honestly unreal. She jumped gates, she jumped walls, she jumped everything. She was phenomenal, and so that night, put it this way, I bought her. This is Smart Remark, also known as Arthur. He is our 28-year-old nanny. Dad and Grandad bought him from Doncaster Horse Sales 24 years ago now, so he's been here longer than I have. And really he was just a happy hacker. He used to race. He was mainly Grandad's horse, so when I was little riding my ponies he would always come with Grandad, but he's an absolute star, and I actually ride him now as well in the winter just to keep his old bones moving. But yeah, he's super. Good boy. Another great thing about Arthur is that he always brings the horses back when I shout for them, so when they don't want to come home he starts marching back and they follow him because he's the leader. Arthur, please settle down. That bay horse there, that is Sligo Better Value, also known as Sligo. He is a 15-year-old. I bought him, what would that be, coming up to 4 years ago as well actually, to do horse workers, but the judges thought he was quite event-like. So after jumping 11 clears one year in Hoy's qualifiers, we thought, you know, we'll just scrap that now and event him. And he's now eventing up to novice, and he's been double clear in every event he's done. The reason I'm talking about him from so far away is because he's a nightmare to catch, and he does not let you anywhere near him unless it's tea time and you've brought all the horses in. Last year I thought I'd be crazy and decided to do the Ledbury Hunt Golden Button Challenge. It's something I've always wanted to do. It's about a 4-mile race across country jumping. Hedges bigger than me, I'm 6'1", and big ditches in front of them. And yeah, there were 64 people in it. And once they said go, that was it, you were by yourself. Oh God. So yeah, he did that and he was amazing. He pinged round. I fell off at fence 3 because someone cut in front of me, but thankfully I managed to keep a hold of him. I got straight back on and we basically did the whole course by ourselves. We had no lead or anything, so he's very, very brave. So a horse that needs no introduction is Constellation, also known as Alf. He is 13 years old and I've owned him now for 9 years. He used to be my intermediate working hunter until he tore his collateral ligament. That would be 4 years ago now in a Hoy's qualifier. So after that we thought, why not have a go at some coloured cob classes, because somebody recommended we had a go. He qualified for the Royal International and he was overall amateur champion there, because I was only 18 then, and as I wasn't riding professionally I was eligible, so that was brilliant. But he did have to be quite large, so we decided to grow his mane back out again and strip the weight off him just so it's healthier for him. I've always wanted to raise money for cancer research, so an idea I came up with was hunting side saddle, which was pretty bonkers. I hadn't realised how difficult it was until I actually did ride side saddle. Alf had never had a side saddle on before, but I didn't want to do it on any other horse, and he took to it like a duck to water. He was brilliant. We hunted side saddle for a full day. My legs were killing me after that, but we did raise £2,400+ for cancer research, which was brilliant. He did go back to doing workers for a bit. He qualified for the Royal International in the intermediate in 2018, but I didn't take him as I qualified my other horse. So he was hunting, and then sadly he actually tore his other collateral ligament in the December of 2018 out hunting. So now he doesn't jump anymore because I don't want to take the risk, but he is as sound as a pound. I compete him on the flat. He still does some autumn hunting to keep him happy because he loves that. But yes, generally he's just a very happy chap who will hopefully do some flat classes again once we get going. So I've been sent in some questions about my horses, and I'm now going to answer a few for you. So, question 1. Which disciplines have your horses competed in other than showing? So when I first got Alf, Mum did one dressage competition on him, and she did forget her way around, so we'll forget that one. But he also did an unaffiliated event as well with me, and he also he did a pony club event that we won. Yeah, so he's done some unaffiliated eventing. Sligo used to show jump before I got him in Ireland, He used to be a young rider's horse, but yeah, he came over and I found him in a dealer's yard. I was very lucky to find him. He show jumps with me, he events with me, he events up to novice, double clears, and yeah, he's the general all-rounder. Diana and Scully, they both hunt in the winter, but I'd like to event them at some point, hopefully when we manage to get going again. Breeding of each of your horses. Okay, so I mentioned it briefly, but I can't quite remember what I said, so I'm going to tell you again now. Diana and Scully are pure Irish drafts. Sligo, I haven't got his breeding recorded, but I have spoken to his breeder and he is a pure warm blood. Arthur is thoroughbred, so he used to be a racehorse, and Alf, I haven't got his breeding either, but it's believed that he is a quarter sports horse and 3/4 Irish draft. Who knows? Question 3. Which one of your horses is the most challenging in the school and why? That would definitely be Diana. She is very spooky, so just as she's going nicely, she might spot something and it can literally be not next to the arena, it could be a mile away, and she'll clock it and she can't take her eyes off it. So yes, she's probably the most challenging, definitely. Did you expect your horses to be as good as they are now? Well, I always have faith in my horses. I think that's part of why they do so well. I've always believed in them. When I first got Alf, I was told, oh, he would just get you going and whatnot, and he was jumping RI qualifiers. He qualified for the Royal International as a horse worker and an intermediate, and it's just by having belief, really. What are your horses' routine during COVID-19 lockdown? So like I said earlier, I've decided to let my horses have a holiday. We're currently on week 5 and they've never normally had a holiday that long, so to be fair, I'm taking advantage of the time for me to have a break, the horses to have a rest. I've got so many jobs done. In the morning they get fed because they're still living in at the moment, and then at 9 o'clock they get turned out and they come in at around 6 o'clock. So this is Dusty. She is my cat. Everybody thinks she's a kitten because she's so small, but actually she's 13 years old. Dusty. And yes, I've been telling her all about my YouTube channel, and she had something she wanted to say to you. Dusty, that's terrible. Get in the house.